All right, let's talk about business. Let's talk about what you're searching for, which is how to start a farmer's market business. Now, I can help you out with this. My name is Brando Linick. There's pretty much two most popular approaches that you can take to it. You can be, harvesting your own food, your own crop, and then you can offer that at a farmer's market, whether that's in the suburbs or whether that's locally, inside your city, inside your town. You can do it that way, all right, just by going to a grocery store, building a relationship and connection with them, and being able to operate either outside or inside the store. You can do it that way, okay, so where you're harvesting and creating your own product, your own service, all right, where you're offering that. You can also do it a second way where you're actually buying from farmers, all right, at a wholesale price that they offer, their crop, their harvest, whatever it is that they harvested, and then you can sell that at a farmer's market to people, okay, whether I said, same thing, whether that's in the suburbs or whether that's locally in town or a city. You can do those two different approaches. And you can also do it a third different approach, where you can actually offer it through like Craigslist and social media. You can offer yourself where you're not, necessarily chasing people down, but you're having people more so come to you. And I guess you could consider that farmer's market on the internet, okay? But those are really the ways you can get started in a sense. Now, when it comes to just the principles behind the business in this review on how to start a farmer's market business, dealing with buying low and selling high, if you're buying from farmers and then selling their products and services, their harvest, to people locally or in the city, all right? Or if you're creating your own products and services, you are the farmer and you are going to the farmer's market to sell. I'm just telling you, doing those two things, dealing with buying low and selling high all the time, all right, dealing with waiting for your harvest to actually be ripe and crop and making sure you have enough, those two things are actually, they're fairly popular to do. They are profitable as well. However, there's a lot of limiting factors that play, okay? When you're buying low and selling high, you're going to make the tiny profit margins in between there, which means you have to make a lot of sales of those products and services that you're offering. And when you're a farmer and you're creating your own harvest and then you're selling at the farmer's market, that means you have to have a lot of harvest that you've harvested, all right? You have to continuously be producing. If you're not producing, all right, what you want to sell at the farmer's market, that means your income and business will stop, which means if you want to take a vacation, if you want to take a day off, all right, your business and income will stop because you're not harvesting and creating a product and service. So I hope that makes sense from a business perspective in this review. And honestly, if you're only looking at this because you want to build a business that's simple, one you know you can make money at, one you know that you can create a long-term income at, one that you are your own boss at, okay, where you're not being told what to do and how to do it, if that's really what you're looking for out of building your own business, I would suggest before considering starting a farmer's market business, all right, before you head down this path, I've got a lead I want to throw your way that can save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears if you're looking at building an income and being your own boss. Because my story with this goes back about a year ago when I came across a person who was building a business without having to create their own product and service, without having to buy low and sell high, and always looking for different things to buy low and sell high with, without having to deal with supplies, without having to deal with equipment, without having to deal with employees, without having to deal with their own store and managing and maintaining that, which if you've never done before, it can be draining on you mentally, emotionally, and physically, all right? And it can take away from your time freedom as well. So because they weren't dealing with any of that stuff, I started to model and copy what they're doing. You ask what were they doing? They're actually building a business on the internet, and the internet's not the only way to go to build a business. But the cool part was they weren't dealing with that, so their profit margins and income were like really, really high, and they had the ability to pick up and travel and live in different locations, all right, for like 6 months at a time, 12 months at a time. So it was really attractive to me. I know traveling is one of my biggest passions, and so I started to model and copy them in less than a month. In total of 90 days, I created from scratch, working my butt off, learning things. I was able to create a full-time income business working part-time without chasing people down, without doing home meetings or three-way calls or bugging friends and family, all right? And if you're looking to build a business, to be your own boss, to create your own income, I can't emphasize enough, if that's really what you're looking for, learn to build a business on the internet where you can increase your profit margins and have the internet through systems do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, where you don't have to deal with employees, supplies, equipment, and managing and maintaining that on an everyday, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. So I hope that makes sense to you from a business perspective. I figured I'd just add that in from my personal experience in this video, because that's all I can share with you is my personal experience in a non-biased way. But I hope this was a help to you, just kind of opens your eyes into how to build a business to get the results that you want. And I look forward to seeing your success story regardless of the approach you take. And in ending with this video, if you want to learn a little bit more about how to build a business on the internet, if you're serious and you want to be your own boss, you want to create time, freedom, leverage, and flexibility without doing anything technical, connect with me on my site. Check it out. It's 123marketingtips.com. I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll see you on the beaches of the world. Take care.